My name is Fernando Sanchez. I teach 6th grade tech apps and leadership at Walnut Grove Middle School. You'll notice at the bottom there, it says today's presentation. That'll be on every slide just in case we kind of have some latecomers coming in, okay? All right. Mr. Pettijohn, you want to talk?
Nathan Pettijohn will be doing cybersecurity at the Mile next year.
And Mr. Pettijohn will be presenting in a few minutes after I've shared a few tips and tricks, and we'll go from there, okay? Last year's session called Snack Mix Tech, technically it was part 1. This year's is even better, but there's the link to it if you're interested. Click on that link and it'll take you to the slideshow from last year's Snack Mix Tech. Whole lot of great tips and tricks in that one too. So feel free to visit it, okay? Our session objectives today are to show tips and tricks for utilizing digital and tech tools for increasing efficiency, effectiveness, overall digital awareness, student engagement, and student effectiveness. Here is our We Are family, and we are Midlothian strong. This is our MISD learner experience. And just to let you know, like the flash, we're going to go very quickly through each one of these tips and tricks. Our goal today is just to model them very quickly for you, but rest assured there's a screen recording in this presentation for every one of them, okay? So even though we go fast, we really just want you to see it and go, wow, that was cool, and know that you can come back and watch the screen recording on how to do it. Okay, some of my favorite ones at TCEA are these ones. They're quick, they're fast, they're exciting, and you always know you can just come back and look at it later. You don't have to wonder if you're going to forget what we said. Okay, all right. So I'm going to start with a couple of things I use Google Forms for. Okay, and one of them is for a digital hall pass. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my website, wgmstechapps.com. It looks like this. I use a website as a jumping off point for a lot of things that I do. I have a banner in the classroom that says wgmstechapps.com so that they always know how to get there. So up on class pages, the first thing I want to show you is my digital hall pass. I created a digital hall pass using Google Forms, and it's just what it says, okay? We're going to come right here. They just fill out their first name, their last name, a drop-down box for which period they're in, the destination of where they're going, and then there's a comments in case maybe there's somewhere that's not under there or they need to say something, and they submit it, okay? Now, obviously, the power of that is that we have data, okay? So, for example, you look at my digital hall pass spreadsheet. I've blacked out the names so that you can't see them, okay? I know I didn't black out the email addresses, but hopefully you don't know those, but you get the idea, right? You have, look at all this that I have. And you may think this is a lot to go through, but if you Command F and you go to find, you can type in the certain student and find how many times they've gone to the restroom and all of that. It's just good data to have, okay? So that's the idea behind the digital hall pass. I also do it for supplies checkout. I check out headphones. I check out a MacBook charger to borrow and things like that. And it's the same idea, okay? When they go to check it out, they have to fill out a form, and I have a spreadsheet showing me who checked it out, who's using it, and stuff like that. I go even a little further with another program that automatically sends an email to the parents to say they didn't have their supplies, but that's in another session. So I use Google Forms for that. And again, I have a spreadsheet showing me who's checked it out so I don't forget who I lent things to. Okay, so that's kind of the power of Google Forms. I'm going to close that, and the next thing we have up is, all right, Google URL tricks. If you don't know what a URL is the web address at the top, the www. whatever, which now we don't even use www that much anymore. But I'm going to show you how you can change the URL to make it do what you want, okay? Let me close this. All right, for example, this is one of my Google Docs, my assignment sheets for my kids to work on. And you can see that there's the assignment, there's the instructions, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I want you to look up here where at the end it says /edit, because that's what automatically happens when you create Google Docs and when you open them. But you can modify that and change the word at the end. All you got to do is leave the very last /, okay? Don't get rid of that. So I'm going to change edit to the word preview, and I want you to see what it looks like instead. If you give them the link with it saying /preview instead, it's going to come up looking more like a web page than it is an editable document. All the tools aren't there anymore. It just looks nice and neat, and it's ready for them to use. There's nothing they can do to it. All they can do is click on links and stuff like that. So that's kind of nice. Here's another one. If instead of that, right after the final / you change it to copy, then when they go to that link, look what it makes them do. They have to make a copy of it. They can't just open it and mess with it. A lot of times we have our kids open a document and then we say, make sure you go to File, make a copy, or you won't have it. But you know that 75% of them listen and 25% don't, right? And so this is a way of making them make a copy if they want the document. When they click make a copy right here, then it automatically gets put in their Google Drive. Okay, so that's a way to do that. There's a couple more that are even a little more not confusing, but they're on the slideshow. If you do /template /preview, watch what it gives us instead. It brings it up kind of like the /preview did. No tools to modify it, no tools to do anything else to it, but it also comes up with a button at the top that says use template. This is kind of like you looking at it first before you decide if you want to make a copy of it, okay? I kind of wish they would just change this blue box to make a copy because it would make more sense, but whatever. Google didn't hire me to do it, so I just go with it. But this is like if you see this and you like it, you click use template and it'll put it in your Google Drive, okay? You'll notice if you went to our link for this presentation today, it made you make a copy. I did that on purpose so that it would go into your Google Drive and you would have it every time. Right? There's a couple others that you can do. Let me go back and show you that they are there in the presentation. Here's how to do the copy link. Okay, here's how to do preview link and so on. There's also a pretty cool one called PDF link, and I kind of want to show you that because that one does a pretty neat thing. If I come up here and once again delete everything after the /, and I put this in instead. Now for Google Docs and Sheets, it's a certain one. For Google Slides and Drawings, it's a different one. But let me show you what happens when I Command C and I paste it up here. This is going, when they go to this, it's not even going to open it. It's just going to automatically, oh, excuse me. Hold on. Of course. Oh, I see. I didn't take out template. I'm sorry. All right. Now, that's going to automatically, it won't open it, but look what it did. It automatically turned it into a PDF and downloaded it to their computer. So, I mean, if you look, when I open this that just downloaded, it turned my Google Doc into a PDF file and downloaded it, and it's ready to go. Okay, so that's kind of a cool one too to use. Okay, all right. And there is a Chrome extension called Sir Links-A-Lot. And it kind of does all these things for you. It was almost easier for me just to type them in, okay? But feel free to check out that extension, okay? All right, a few shortcut keys. Make something happen fast with these shortcut key tips. All right, so let's say that I have this article that the students are supposed to be reading. It's called What is Fake News? And they're going to read the article, okay? Now, I probably wouldn't tell them what I'm about to tell you until they're done reading the article, okay? But once you tell them, it's in their mind forever. You're going to have to watch and make sure they're still doing the reading they're supposed to be doing, okay? This keystroke is called Command F, and it stands for find. And on any web page you're ever on, you can do Command F, and you'll notice that right up here, a little box appeared, and you can type in what you're looking for on this page. If you're looking for the word news, I typed in news, and you'll notice up here it says 4 out of 24. That means it found 24 times that the word news is being used. And you can use the arrows to take you from one to the next. It highlights all the places that it used the word news. Okay. Now I tell the kids with much power comes much responsibility, right? Because ELA teachers are not going to want them to just do Command F and go find answers sometimes because they're supposed to be reading the whole thing to get the context of everything. So, but Command F is a super great thing to use. All right. The next thing I want to show you, and it kind of goes with this, is, let's say that I accidentally closed this tab that I'm working on, okay, and I didn't mean to. Well, as you know, Command-T makes a new tab like we did at the beginning of this presentation. But if you throw Shift in there, Shift Command-T, it will open the last tab that you closed. So that also comes in handy, like Mr. Pettijohn said in our earlier session, when you walk by a kid and they close a tab as fast as they can, you can Shift Command-Tab and it'll open the last tab that was closed. Just saying. That was Mr. Pettijohn's idea, not mine. But it's a great idea. Great idea. Right, Mr. PJ?
That's right.
All right. So you get that. Now I want to show you something else. Okay. I'm going to create a new tab, Command-T, because I want to create a new, excuse me, just a minute. I'm doing Command-T, but it's technology and it's not really wanting to do it. So I'm just going to do it here. All right. I want to create a new Google Doc to show you something, but I don't want to have to go up here to my waffle menu and then go to Google Docs and then go to new or anything. But the .new trick works with all the Google apps. So any Google app name followed by .new will open a new one. For example, if I wanted to start a new Google Doc, I can just come up here and go doc.new. And watch what happens. All I did was type in doc.new. You can do sheets.new, slides.new, anything that's a Google app followed by .new, and it automatically starts a new one for you ready to go. Okay. And what is nice too is that if you accidentally did that, if I close it right now, it will not put it in your Google Drive because you have done nothing to it. So it can tell. But the minute you type anything on it, it saves it and it's in your Google Drive in the main folder, in the root folder of your Google Drive, and it's ready to go. So that's a pretty cool, very quick trick that you can use. Anything .new. Okay. All right. I want to show you also a keystroke that comes in really handy. And it is this. Let's say I grabbed this from this web page because I want to copy it and paste it into my doc. Well, you know that when you paste it, Command-V, it also pastes with all the formatting, the size, the font, and all of that was on that web page. And sometimes you don't want that. You have to go back and change it to what you want. Okay. I'm going to show you that instead of Command-V, just throw the Shift in there too. Shift Command-V and watch what it does. It brings it in without any formatting at all. It'll match the formatting of whatever you've got on that page, and you don't have to worry anymore about going back and doing it. So just the Shift key. Same paste key, Command-V, but throw Shift in there, Shift Command-V, and it'll bring it in without the formatting. All right. That's a good one. I like that one quite a bit. All right, I'm going to close that. I'm going to close this just a second. All right, .new. Shift Command-V. Okay, very good. All right, on to the next one. I'm going to show you how to change images into text. Here's the example I used, okay? Let's say I went to somebody's house and I saw hanging on the wall the Footsteps poem, and I liked it a lot, and so I took a picture of it. And when I get home, I don't want to have to type it out all over again. So I'm going to show you using Google Keep. Google Keep is at keep.google.com. Using Google Keep, you can start a new note. Just from right here, it says new note with image. You can even do it on a note you've already started, but this is the quickest way. New note with image. And my image I kept on my desktop. Here it is. Here's the picture I took. It's a JPEG, and so I'm going to open it. And you're going to notice what it's going to do is create a note with your image, okay? But I don't want to have to type this up, but I do want to use it, okay? So all you do right down here in the three dots, okay, you're going to click it and say grab image text. And I want to show you what it's going to do. It's using what they call OCR, optical character recognition. And watch when I scroll down, it put it all in there for me. And it's ready for me to copy and paste and edit and modify and do whatever I want with it instead of going through and typing it all out again. So that's pretty cool. There is another way to do it that's super easy as well. If you'll notice, I'm now in my Google Drive, and I uploaded that image right here to my Google Drive, Footprints in the Sand poem.jpg. Watch what you can do this way. You can right-click and say Open With and say Google Docs. I really like this method too, though, because it's super easy to do, because Google Docs is going to open it. It's going to put your image in there and then automatically underneath it, put all the text for you. You'll see as it comes up. It's working. All right. You see the footprints in the sand? It opened it, but look what it also did for you as I scroll down. There it is. It also took it and changed it for you into text as well, right under the image. It's being slow at scrolling right now, but you get the idea. So that's a way to change an image that has a lot of text in it and you don't want to have to type it out again. That's a good way to do that. Okay? All right. That's a good one. All right. Oh, image shapes. I like this one a lot too. Easily apply a shape to any image to spruce up your slideshows. Anyone who knows me knows I am certainly not a graphic designer. All I know how to do is go get images off the internet or from the nounproject.com or whatever. I know how to copy, paste, and crop images. Other than that, I don't know how to do stuff. But I like this trick that we were shown at TCEA. It's super easy. Some of you may already know how to do it. Okay, so I'm in Google Slides right now, and I want to insert a picture. We go to Insert, Image, and if you have it from the computer, you upload it from your computer. I'm going to say search the web. I want a picture of an eagle. Well, you know what's going to happen is that it's going to put the picture in as either a square or a rectangular shape, depending on what the native picture is. So I'm going to just kind of grab that one and put it in there. And you already know that you can resize pictures by grabbing any of the corners, right, and making them a different size. You know how to move pictures around, I'm sure. You also know how to crop pictures probably. You select it. You click on the crop tool right here where it says crop image. You'll see some black lines come up, and you can grab them and cut off whatever pieces you want, okay? But here's one more cool thing, okay? With the image selected, instead of pressing the crop button, there is an arrow right next to it, and you can add a shape to this. Now watch what happens to the image when I add a shape to it, like a circle. So it turns into a circle, which quite a bit nicer, right? Looks nicer than just a square. There's other shapes you can use too that are pretty cool, and any of these other things too. But like I kind of like doing this one. It looks like kind of like a cloud. It looks kind of like I knew what I was doing, you know? So that's pretty cool, easy to add shapes to images. All right, let me see where we're at. All right. Translate documents. With just a few clicks, you can translate entire documents into several different languages. A lot of us use Google Translate for translating things, but when you already have something that's a full, like this, for example, that's already a full document, you don't want to have to copy, paste back and forth between Google Translate. I want to show you this worksheet that's in English, okay? And in Google Docs, it is super easy. You go to Tools, Translate Document, and right here, it wants to know what you want to call it because it's going to create a new file. It's not going to mess with your original one. It's going to create a new one. And here, you tell it what you want it to transfer into, okay? I'm going to do, I don't know why I like doing Arabic because it looks so cool. So I'm going to do Arabic, okay? And when I hit Translate, you're going to notice it opens a new tab. It left your other one, your original one, open, but the new tab is opening, and you'll notice that it gets translated into whatever language that you chose, okay? You'll notice that the two top images did not get translated, even though they have words in them, because the words are part of the images, okay? So those didn't get translated. But everything that was typed on that document got translated into Arabic. There's tons of languages that you can choose from to do that. So that is pretty cool. Another awesome tip, another awesome trick. All right. All right, voice typing. I like this one a lot too. I should have I've got it open. So voice typing, when you're inside of Google Docs, hey, this might save carpal tunnel syndrome. You might really have to know this because I love voice typing. I do it all the time in the car. I'm a big hands-free person. I use Siri for everything. But please, please, please proofread whatever you voice type. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I want to show you, all you do is go to Tools, and you go to voice typing. It's that simple. Now, the first time you do it, it may need permission. You may need to click a button that says allow to allow you to use the microphone. But once you do, all you do is click this microphone when you're ready, and I'll show you what it does. I have clicked on the microphone so that I could use voice typing in Google Docs. This can be a very powerful tool. Now you'll notice there is no punctuation so far because I haven't said it. You have to say the name of the punctuation, exclamation point. Now, comma, do you understand what I'm saying? Question mark. This is so awesome, exclamation point. Then we click on it to stop, and just like that, okay? Now, please, 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 I can't beg with you enough. Proofread. Do not trust this computer. It's a robot. It's not perfect, and it cannot do things perfectly, okay? Please proofread. I have had bad experiences with not proofreading stuff. Just saying. I'm not going to share them with you right now because this is rated G. So just make sure that you proofread. But this can be an awesome tool. It can even be an awesome tool for kids, for students. This is great, okay? Voice typing. Right. And now we are on to split windows in Chrome. I am going to let Mr. Pettijohn take over. I'm going to stop presenting and let Mr. Pettijohn present.
Okay, let me, I'm going to present my entire screen so you can see what I'm doing here. Give me 1 second. All right, can you see my screen? Should be coming up.
Okay. It's working. It's working.
Okay, cool. So have you ever had two windows open at the same time or more, and you got to do this to go back between them, and it gets really annoying? There's a couple of ways that you can get around this. One of them is using the green button. If you click and hold it, it's going to do this and have a little blue shaded area. It's going to pop that into that side, and you can select which other window you want to split your screen with. So now I have a split screen that I can go back and forth between. I can even move it to one side or the other to make one side a little bit bigger. So that's one way to do it. And then the next thing I'm going to show you is a way to toggle between the windows and the tabs. Let me go grab this back so that it's just really quick and easy. Sometimes you need more space than splitting windows will give you. So you actually need the whole window, but you want to get to it fast. So if you want to go back and forth between windows, all you do is Command and then the little tilde next to the 1, and it's just automatically going to pop it back and forth like that. Okay. Now, what about if you are on a tab and you want to go over to, you're in the middle of doing something, typing or whatever, and you want to go over to another tab? There's a quicker way than having to go up here and click the tabs. If you hit Control Tab, that's going to just scroll through your tabs and then back to the beginning. You can add the Shift in there to go backwards. Control Shift Tab, and then it'll go backwards. Okay, so that is just a quick and easy way to go through your tabs and your windows. I get so annoyed having to like click like this back and forth. That's just a good way to do that. The next thing I'm going to show you is in Gmail. There's a little hidden arrow down here at the bottom right. I don't know if you've seen it. It says it's a side panel. If you click that arrow, something magical is going to happen. It's going to bring up your calendar, your Google Keep, your tasks. If you keep tasks on here, so you can go to your calendar just from Gmail and create a calendar event, or you can edit your tasks or your Google Keep. So it's just a quicker way than going out to calendar, finding it, going out to Keep or whatever. You can just do it all from Gmail. Another feature I was going to show you in Gmail is if you are composing an email. Let me just compose one to Fern. Let's say I wanted to send him this email, but I don't want to send it right away. They've added this feature pretty recently. It's a schedule send. So you hit this little arrow, schedule send, and you don't have to send the email right away. You're like, man, I want to send this later this afternoon. So you could pick, a preset time right here, or you can actually pick your own date and time. When you do that, let's say I say tomorrow, I'm going to send it tomorrow. It's going to come up in my, let's see, it's going to come up here, and it's going to have, if I hover, it'll go away. But you see there's a little, like, almost looks like a paper airplane or something with a clock on it. right there. That's telling me it's gonna send tomorrow. I'm gonna delete that. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna show you is if you've ever opened a PDF file, let me get out of here. You'll notice that it is not editable like a Word document or a Google Doc. You can't edit it. You can't write on it or annotate it. So there's a free Google Chrome extension called Cami. A lot of you have probably used this before, but it's just a Chrome extension. You just go to the three dots, go to More Tools, Extensions, and this is all on a screen recording too. Search Cami, and then you would add it. Okay, and when you do, when you open a PDF, you're going to have this little K here for Cami. It says Open with Cami. You click that, and it's going to open it up. And I've already opened it, so it may have a couple different menu options for me. But it's going to say, would you like to access your Google Drive? And so it can actually store it on your Google Drive, or you can actually download it as a PDF. So, so here I have it, and then I can mark it up. I can add a text box and type in there. Now, this is the free version, so you'll see some things are locked, like I guess that's voice typing. You can only use Times New Roman, which is unfortunate, but it's enough to get you by, on the free version. So it's just a pretty quick and easy way to edit a PDF document. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is probably one of the coolest things I found. It's on your actual your desktop. If you go to your Mac, System Preferences, go to Accessibility, and make sure Zoom is checked. Go to Zoom, use scroll gesture with modifier keys to zoom, and I have Control selected. So what's going to happen is when I hold down Control and two-finger swipe, it's going to zoom in wherever my cursor is. So this is really great if you are presenting, like on your Promethean board, there's a kid in the back that can't see, and they're like, what is that word right there? You put your cursor there, hold down Control, zoom in, and then you can, wherever your cursor is, you can just zoom really quickly, swipe up and down with two fingers. It is so easy, and it has been so helpful to me this year. That's a really, really good tip. The next one is, I kind of found this one out accidentally. My desktop is a complete nightmare normally, and the new iOS, or the new operating system for Mac that we all upgraded to has a thing called Stacks. So if you go to Finder, make sure it says Finder here, and you click View, you're going to do Use Stacks, and watch what happens. Bam! It's like my mom cleaned my room for me. So it puts everything in nice, neat little stacks, and then you have all your screenshots here. You click there, you can get to those, all the other things, all your movies, PDF documents, and it's all nice and neat, okay? The other thing I was going to show you is if you want to view something quickly and not have to open preview, so like here's our yearbook at home learning pictures that we used for the yearbook. I've got all these images. If I wanted to open them, I would have to click on it, wait for preview to open, close it, open another one, wait for preview to open. What I can do instead is just highlight the file and press spacebar, and then I can actually use the arrow keys to go through, and it's so quick. You can do it in movies, same thing for all my movies. For documents, I can quickly look at a document and see if it's what I need. That's just a really quick way to save some time on that. Okay, let's move on. If you have a Google form that you're working on and you want to be notified if somebody fills out that Google form and you want an email sent to you so you know, there's a quick way to do this. You just need to install an add-on called Form Notifications. So go to the three dots, Add-ons, and then you just choose Form Notifications and make sure it's installed. And what will happen is anytime somebody fills out this form, it's going to send you an email and say, hey, there was a submission. You can click here to view the form. And so I've used that quite a bit. The last thing I'm going to show you before we toss it back over to Fern is flippity.net, which is pretty cool. Get there again. Okay, you can turn any Google spreadsheet into all sorts of cool things. You can do a quiz show, you can do a randomizer, scavenger hunt, manipulative, spelling words, typing tests, badge tracker, all this really cool stuff. And all you do is you go, so let's say we're going to do this one, go to instructions. It tells you exactly how to do it. it's going to force you to make a copy of their template, which is just what Mr. Sanchez showed you a little while ago. So force you to make a copy. When you do, it's kind of their default, what they have in their spreadsheet, and you just change the information, category 1, how many points or whatever. Each one will be a little bit different because it's a different thing. So as it's loading, what I will need to do once I change all my stuff is I'm going to go to File, Publish to the Web, and then it'll have me publish this to the web so it can be accessible. Then what I'll do is go to this other tab down here. It says Get Link Here. I click on this, click on the website, and it wasn't working earlier, but I think yeah. And so it's just going to bring it up. So you could see it's going slow. So you could just give that link to your students once you've done that, so then they can use that. So Flippity is just a really cool little Google spreadsheet reader. And I think that is all I have. All right, I'm going to stop presenting, and I'm going to give it back to you, Fern.
All right. All right, let me get my screen up. Mr. Petterjohn, you might want to check the comments. Yeah. There are a couple questions they had about yours that will be easier for you to answer. Remember, everyone, this is all available. If you go to the bit.ly link that's on every one of these slides that I'll have up again, you get this presentation that we're showing you so that you don't miss a thing, okay? Also, it's being recorded, and eventually it'll be up for you to like attend this course, quote unquote attend, by streaming it instead. So, but email us too if you have questions or whatever, okay? All right, let me present mine once again, please, just a second. Present your entire screen. All right. All right. Give it a few seconds for my screen to come back up. The next thing I wanted to share with you guys is video instructions on all assignments. Have you ever wanted to be there even though you're not there? Here's how. I'm going to show you an example of what I'm talking about, okay? Here is the example of my assignment sheet again that I used as an example a while ago. But I want to show you that right up here on every assignment I give the kids, I have this icon, the exact same one, so there's familiarity there. And when they click on it, there is a short screen recording of me talking about the assignment. Whatever they might have missed of me saying since they were absent or they're doing at-home learning or whatever, this way they don't have to miss it, okay? Or they came in tardy because of this or because of that. They can watch today's instructions. I'll show you real quick, and I won't play the whole thing. I clicked on it, and okay, so today's assignment is going to be very much like a previous assignment that you did on screen recordings, but today you're going to do a video recording lab. So you get the idea. So that's there. Now, it's initially a lot of work up front, right, to do one for every one of your assignments. But if you just do it like maybe the day before they're going to give that assignment for one semester or one, I mean, it'll be there for good. Doesn't take too much. You can look at last year's Snack Mix Tech for some ideas on how to create screen recordings and things like that. There's also another link I'll share with you towards the end of that. But this is video instructions on every assignment, okay? The other thing I have on every assignment is how to turn that assignment in, because you know that you can't just say put it in Canvas because you might want a file upload. You might want them to turn it in from their Google Drive. You might want them to just turn in a text, type out what they worked on that day or something. So it's kind of important. I mean, if you want to minimize how much questions you get and how much confusion there is, I have right here, they click on how to submit this assignment, and there's a quick screen recording showing them how. Okay. And you can reuse it for assignments that you're going to, have submitted the same way. You don't have to do a screen recording for every single one. I have one too on how to use Edpuzzle. On the days we're going to be using Edpuzzle, I throw this one on there so that, new students who have never used it or whatever, it's there for them too. Okay. All right. That was video instructions on all assignments. Okay. Did you know you could use emojis in your file or folder names? I mean, it's kind of fun, but there is an extra added benefit to it. So I'm going to show you real quick. If I'm here in my Google Drive, and I like to access this folder more than anything else when I come into my Tech Apps folder called Units, but I want it at the top. If you put an emoji in the file name, it'll automatically boost it to the top, and it'll look fun. I'll show you how. If you go to emojicopy.com, there's a bunch of emojis that you can look through. And all you got to do is click on the one you think you want to use for your file name. For example, I'm going to click on a blue notebook for units because blue is DeSoto color. Excuse me, DeSoto. Blue is Midlothian. Ooh, that was a blast from the past long ago. This blue Midlothian color, you'll notice when I clicked on it, it also put it right down here, kind of like in a messages box. And all you do is come over here and click on copy. And it says copied once you do, okay? Now, you just come over here, you rename whatever you want to rename. And in the front, or you can put it in the back if you want to, but I put it in the front. You do paste, Command V. And not only did it put the emoji on the file name, it pushed it up to the top. So that's a pretty cool little trick that you can use. Again, it's in the slideshow, all right? Okay, finally, there's two more things I want to show you, but these two things, I'm gonna have to let you watch the screen recording. They're pretty short, but I'm gonna have to let you watch the screen recording just because of the nature of them, okay? So I'm gonna start, this one's called DocAppender. You're gonna like this one. This one comes in super handy to keep records easily, okay? And it creates a running log of Google Form responses in one or more Google Docs. You'll see it. Just watch and you'll see what it's like, and then there's another slide on how to do it that I'll let you watch on your own. Here we go. So in this screen recording, I'm simply going to show you what a pretty awesome Google Form add-on called DocAppender can do. It does just what it sounds like. It appends a doc. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it does, and then in another video, it'll be a little more detailed as to how to set it up and how to use it. Okay, but let's say I have 3 students who have been going to the restroom frequently, and I'm beginning to probably need to keep tabs on it so that I have data. So I created a form. Excuse me, that's the bell. I created a form, and I just called it frequent restroom breaks. Here it is. Okay. If you don't know how to create a form, that's a whole nother level, but you can watch the other video on how to do it more detailed. But look at my frequent, and this is all I do. It's for me to fill out. Okay. And these 3 students have been kind of going a lot. So I decided, hey, Edward went today. And if I've got any comments to add on, I can say, oh, excuse me. I gotta open action. Here, so it's Edward. And says he had a tummy ache, and I just submit it, right? And now, when I have already created a doc called Edward in my Google Drive, you'll see how if you watch the other video. So all I do is go and open Edward, and you'll notice that it has this was a blank page before I submitted that form. Well, it has added this information for me: what time and date, who the username was that filled out the form, it was me, who the student was, and the comments. So let's say he goes again in 30 minutes, and we say Edward, and we say now feels like he's going to get sick. We submit. All it does is basically this this add-on appends the doc. See how it added another one? Okay. And so, I mean, think of ways you can use this, but that's the basic idea of this Google add-on called DocAppender. All right. In the other video, it'll show you exactly how to use it. All right. So that one was awesome. I mean, I started using it for my GCS students that go down for help. I had them fill out that form each day. It was a very quick form. Just choose their ID number and hit submit. But I had a file for each of them individually and what time and what date and everything that they went to GCS. So I have a running record on each of them individually. So that one is pretty cool. I really like that one. In the next slide, this slide is called DocAppender Demo. That's what you just saw. I was just demoing it for you. But in this slide, the DocAppender how-to, you will see there's a screen recording here that's a little bit longer on how to set it up. It's not too hard, but there's the screen recording. I think you'll think of tons of ways to use it. Okay. The final thing I'm going to share with you is one more screen recording I'm going to have you watch. It's called Spacebar in SpeedGrader in Canvas. This saves a second or two on each assignment, which can really add up. So here's the last thing. So when I'm inside of Canvas SpeedGrader, it gets a little bit frustrating to have to go like that. I have to come up here to look at one, click on it to go to the next one. And okay, several of those are missing. Then I have to come back over here because it's a multi-page thing and I have to scroll down. Then I have to come back up here with my mouse again. And then I have to come back here to scroll down. Well, there's something I realized. The first time you click on this, okay, it puts a box around it. And because this is a different frame over here, it leaves the box around it, even if you scroll up and down with your scroll wheel on your mouse here. Now, because this box is still around it, you can use your space bar to go from assignment to assignment. I just pressed my space bar, left my arrow here so I can do my scrolling, space bar, nothing, space bar, left my arrow here so I can do my scrolling. It's just, it saves half a second, but when you multiply half a second times 170 assignments, it does turn into some time. Just remember, you have to click this the first time, and then it stays, and you can use your space bar from then on out. I hope that helps. All right. All right, that one just helped me as I was going through assignments in SpeedGrader. It helped me a lot to just be able to keep my mouse pointer inside the frame where the assignment is. I use an external mouse, and so I use my scroll wheel a lot and just hit my space bar to go on to the next assignment. That's what we got for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Fernando Sanchez. He's Nathan Petterjohn. If you want to see some more awesome tips and tricks, check out TechTuts YouTube playlist by clicking here. Once again, here is the, oh, I'm sorry. Let me come back here. Here is the URL to this presentation that you're looking at right now. You're going to want it, bit.ly/smtech2. Okay. And right now I am going to stop the recording and then I will show you the attendance.